father and I were especially close, and I always got to help him in doing various repairs around the house, especially as well to the cars that we had. And when I was a small child, it really consisted of going downstairs and fetching his tools. But as a 5-year-old, to learn what the difference was between this type of wrench and that type of screwdriver, it helped later on just as a familiarization that said, you know, these pieces that women normally don't handle aren't scary. They're just things they're tools that you use like any other tool.
But were there many young girls or women who had that same perception that you had, that this is a career path? At the time you were growing up, did you have many girlfriends who said, "Yeah, I want to be Lisa. You and I are going to be engineers together," or anything like that?
No, I've always been the, if you will, the odd one, the strange one. To me, the answer is that's what I wanted to do, and the fact that they wanted to do something else was fine. And that's really how I've tried to raise my girls as well. I have 2 girls and a boy, and none of them are engineers. They all are happy in the careers that they've chosen, but they didn't want to follow me in the path into engineering, and that's fine. They have to find their own way, and that's how I really felt growing up, is let me rise to my own level, let me do what I want to do, and I'll be successful or not based on how hard I want to work and how hard I want to try. And the fact that it wasn't something that everyone else was doing didn't really matter to me. We are kind of a quiet industry. And we serve the country, and I don't know that a lot of people understand that. And it's something that is now, as a member of the industry, I see that is something that we need to think about. We are a vital part of the nation's economy, and it's one that, should we go away, this country could not continue. As a for-profit organization, most people are judged by top and bottom line growth. Our organization is judged by how are we serving the needs of the industry and helping them to solve problems and become safer, more reliable, and more efficient. So our performance is judged not by our profitability, but by how we can solve problems and help bring new ideas and new technology, new designs to the industry.
So I did want to just double back on deciding to come here, because you were happy in Fort Worth, BNSF, great company, Matt Rose, wonderful leader. So what made you decide to make this move in 2010?
There is, you know, when you look and you say, what is the ultimate that you can do? When you see a job that you love, there are some pieces that you love, and then there's some pieces that you really love. And for me, the part that I really loved of the job was the innovative technology and the research. And having the opportunity to come to this organization to help with the research really was the ultimate dream job that I could have.
Describe who works here. What are the different, where do they come from? What are the different skills? It's quite an interesting mix that you have.
It is. Great researchers work here. Great people who know track and track structures, who know how to operate locomotives. And for us, we're interested in having the great people work here, and where they come from, what they look like, who they worship, what gender they are, it really doesn't matter. It adds to what I think the rich diversity of our organization, where we can have someone come in from pretty much anywhere in the globe and have a native speaker to talk to them. And I think that it adds a lot for, our organization to be able to see different cultures and see different ways of doing things, and it allows us to be more flexible and better meet the needs of our diverse line of customers. But we have individuals here that are from China, we have individuals from India and Pakistan and Nepal, from South America, from Australia, from Europe, from Canada, from Mexico, as well as from the United States. Certainly when you look at, I think, the fact of women in railroading is really a subset of women in technology. And that there's not a lot of difference between women in the railroad industry, women in the tech industry out in San Francisco or in Washington, or women in the automotive industry. It's all the same. And while we may be 150 years old, I think we could teach them a thing or two about how to have women have meaningful positions and how to have a culture that embraces that. And because that's what I see in the rail industry. And when I was at BNSF, I never felt like I was unwelcome. I never felt like I was not a part of the club, but I never felt like I was a second-class citizen. And that was, to me, the very striking thing I heard this morning about, at least the report from the tech industry, of how many women believe that they are not taken seriously and they're not going to be given opportunities to advance, and that they're going to be judged for their gender rather than for what they do and what they bring. And I don't think that that's the case in the railroad industry. The days when you can have an industry that says, I'm going to have my business model based on the fact that the man is going to go to work and the woman is going to stay home is gone. And it's gone for everyone. And the tech industry would do well to figure that one out. I think the railroad industry has. I think that it has, there's still a lot of good work to do. But it's an industry that is trying to support that. Now, that also still comes to a personal choice as to what people want to do. I think that when I look at the reason why I get up in the morning and come to work, it's for those 4 people that are in that picture with me. And as much as I love this job, I love them more. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think that we as managers need to make sure we send that message very clearly to the organization that it's okay to have a family. It's a wonderful thing. People come here to work because they're passionate about learning, they're passionate about being able to solve problems, and they're passionate about the railroad industry.
You've been almost 20 years in the railroad industry, and it's too early maybe to say what your ultimate legacy is, but what would you like your legacy, what would you like to be known as in your contributions to the industry?
That she worked hard and she made a difference. And that difference is not only in some of the technology that came to the industry from TTCI, but that we could make a difference for the people of TTCI as well. What I hope to be known for is that I was able to bring people to this organization, to support them, to get the resources that they need to allow them to shine, and then to step back like a proud mom and let it happen.